Hi guys, this is Perri from Shakti Paj Designs. I'm going to show you guys how to make a brad out of a bead. And so it will sit really simply in any kind of hole that you use. For this particular exercise, we'll call it, I'm going to show you how to do it on a button with holes on it because they're fairly large holes. What you're going to need for this little project is, well, something with holes in it, right? Your chain nose, your cutters, your round nose pliers, and sometimes you will need some nylon pliers just for squeezing things that are already made. You may or may not need these. You need a little bead of some nature to stick on the front of it to make into your brad, and you need kind of extra long head pins. You can make your own head pins, don't care about that. These are what I have on hand. And actually, these are really, really thin head pins. So I can show you, you can do this with any size wire, pretty much any size bead that you want. Yeah, so let's get started. First thing you want to do is put your bead on your head pin and then stick it into your hole, just like this. Then the next thing you're going to do is just turn it over and hold on and put your finger there behind it, although this isn't absolutely crucial. The next thing is to take your round nose pliers in at about, kind of a halfway point down it, start turning a loop. Start acting like you're turning a loop. And yes, this is like flowing really, really free in here. Don't even worry about that. We're going to fix that later. So act as if you're turning a loop and pull it all the way around. We're not going to worry about the slack right this minute, right? So now grab onto it, take your pliers out, and turn it around so that that free end is facing towards the bottom of your pliers, right? And then push it over some more. We're going to make a total of 2.5 loops here, and I want you to turn the last one like this. So now notice what I've got here. You've got 2.5 loops. Over on this side, a little bit more difficult to see. 2.5 loops, right? So now the deal is, and this is all floppy, and if I pushed it forward you'd see that the bead is like flopping around on there. We don't want that. We want this to stick tight to it. So what we're going to do here is take the pliers out again and put them in the other side, and then start turning that loop all the way down. Do what it takes. Take your pliers out, put them back in, and turn that loop downwards. At some point, I want you to put your pliers in like this and push that loose wire off to this side, okay? And right now I'm kind of turning to make sure that this stays nice and tight. See, now I don't have to hang on to it anymore, and it's tight to it. Watch when I take my pliers out what happens. I'm going to push on this and see how it doesn't move on the front. That's what you want. So now let's come back to here, and I'm going to put my pliers back in this, and now I'm going to start turning this as if it were a wrapped double loop. Okay, now this is a little bit fiddly while you've still got your round nose pliers in, so I'm going to kind of move them around to get them, if it'll even work. It won't, because mine's really, really tight. So what I'm going to do is just grab this real easily so I don't crush them, and see if I can get this to turn around. Yeah, I can. Come on, baby. Sometimes it doesn't want to turn around as nicely as you would like it to turn around, so you just got to fiddle a little bit. All you want is a couple of turns here. You don't want a full-on wrapped loop. You don't need it. But the more you can turn it, the better off you are. Here. There. Ah, broke some of it. That doesn't matter. I don't care about that. All I care about is that it turns into a wrapped loop that has a little bit there, and that this still doesn't move. Okay? So now, once that wrapped loop is put in there, and if you want to, you can kind of turn it around a few times. Doesn't really matter. Right about now, I would snip mine off. Let's see if I can get it snipped. There we go. And we get rid of that. And now you can kind of turn it a little bit. Get it down in there just a tad. Doesn't really matter because you're going to kind of cover that up in a little bit anyway. So now what you want is to look at how you've got your loops in there, and put your plier, one jaw of your plier in there and start pushing it down onto that plier. And as you do it, center those, turn your pliers a little bit and center those loops. That'll also help you to get it down in there a little bit more closely if you want it. And of course, if you do one of them, you have to do the other, because one of them is going to be bigger than the other. The reason this works is because a wrapped loop is essentially a noose. And anytime that you pull on the noose part, it gets bigger. So it also, in this case, what it does, as you pull this backwards, like this, is it helps this part stay really, really close and tight. So now you've got your nice little double noose here. And what you want to do is separate them just a little bit. As you can see, if you're looking at my fingernails really close, I have a tendency to separate these suckers with my fingernails, which is not a good idea, but hey, we all do things that aren't very good ideas. So anyway, you separate them out a little bit, and then you can separate them a little more. And by the time they get really, really nice and separated, you can push them down so that they open. And this is where you can do that with these. Come off to the side. Make sure you don't grab the bead. Right? Come off to the side and open that one. Turn it over. Make sure you don't grab the bead. Here, I'm going to turn it over again. Make sure you don't grab the bead and push it open. They still kind of want a butterfly here for me. Let's move that out of the way. They still kind of want a butterfly here for me. So what I'm going to do is to use my nylon pliers and very, very gently push on them until they open all the way up, like that. Now I'm going to grab it and push on them again. I'm actually grabbing the bead as well. And I'm being really, really gentle. And it likes to jump around because this is a kind of a fiddly process. So anyway, now if you'll notice, what we've got is a little figure, what we've got is a little figure 8 there. You could even fiddle-faddle with it a little bit more, press it down. And on the other side, we've got a nice, here, I'll hold it on this. It really doesn't move around very much at all. You can see that it can't. But what is happening is this is held really, really steady on this side. There aren't any little loose ends to catch on any of your, on your ear or on your clothing or whatever. And this is going to stay centered. The other thing that you can do is leave this up just a little bit, leave this pushed up, and you can hang things off of it. I could put another crystal in the other hole if I wanted to on this one. I'm just basically showing you how this works to get it into the hole, and the fact that the profile's kind of nice too. Check it out. It's hard to see any better than that. So anyway, there you have it. Here, I'll turn it over. And it also sits pretty flat. You could fill any hole doing that. Another nice thing that I need to do, I don't need to do it, but another nice thing that I like to do is use bicones, because part of the, as you can see, part of the bead kind of sits in there, and it makes it sit even more solidly. It's a really, really kind of nice thing to do. So anyhow, that's that. Thanks for watching. This is Perri from Shakti-Paj Designs. Check out my Facebook page. You can see it in the comments below. Check out my webpage. There's some other free tutorials, and I'll have some more videos coming. So thanks again for watching. Bye.